everyone. This is Vegas, and hopefully having a nice weekend. Just wanted to go over some catalysts this week and events happening within the market. So, obviously Monday's around the corner, and what is coming ahead. It's really not just another trading week. It is really a high stakes chess match where the Federal Reserve's inflation obsession meets corporate earnings, fireworks, and housing market jitters. With the Fed's recent 25 basis point rate cut still fresh in memory, really a nod to softening labor data amid sticky prices, investors are laser focused on whether the economy's cooling too fast or just right. Will PCE data hand the bulls a victory lap or send both into bonds into a tailspin? So let's break it down day by day with the drama dialed up, no crystal ball required, just cold hard data and a dash of market intrigue. So on Monday, which is really the quiet before the storm, there's really no blockbuster earnings. And so you can see here, I'm showing you this calendar right now from Trading View. I don't really know if you can see it that well, but hopefully, it's, big enough that you can read it. But if not, I'll read you them, so no worries. So there's really no blockbuster earnings on Monday. Markets might have some digestion or some sideways action, or maybe just continue to the upside. I really love how a lot of the indices closed, even though we had quad witching. A lot of things are being digested. We saw last week the chip sector surged because hello, Nvidia's 5 billion Intel bet that lit a 22% fire under Intel shares. But don't snooze right now. I think subtle flows into tech and defensive could build some momentum. So if you're positioning for the week, any early whispers on any housing stats on Tuesday. The volatility will be low, or will there be some excitement? And then, on Tuesday, we have auto parts, power plays, and housing heartaches. And the action kind of revs up with August existing home sales at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So this is coming in during the market hours. So you might see sometimes like the market kind of chilled or slowing down a little bit because they're waiting for that data. And then, we'll see how the market reacts. But, the consensus is eyeing a dip to 3.95 million annualized sales from July's 4 million, signaling more buyer fatigue. And so a softer print could fuel bets on deeper Fed cuts, boosting mortgage sensitive stocks like home builders or REITs. But if sales surprise to the upside, hello, rate hike paranoia. But I don't think that's the case at all. I think that's just very dramatic, and we are due for a rate cut. I mean, obviously we got a quarter point. Could we have had more? Probably, but they seem to want to take it in little strides. After the bell, we have heavyweights Micron taking the stage, and I really love Micron here. And I love the AI revolution. Dan Ives says this all the time. So just to give you a heads up here with Micron, they are reporting, obviously, and this is a king report, king of chips here as well. Not the AI king, that belongs to NVIDIA. No one gets that crown. So with Micron, they're betting on $8.52 billion of revenue, $1 earnings per share. I think they'll be really big on AI demand for their DRAM and NAND. And if they do deliver or beat, I think this will turbocharge the semis, and it's going to ride NVIDIA's coattails. So definitely a must watch on Tuesday. AutoZone also has earnings coming up as well. I want to show you this company here. I don't really use any of their stuff. I don't really go there. I'm actually pretty handy actually with my cars. But I'm not really one to like run and go check these places out constantly. But it's a very cool site. I think a lot of people told me that they do go here because they like to do things themselves. And they do have a lot of do-it-yourself products. So anyhow, this company, as you can see, a very interesting website. I like the website. It's got a lot of interesting colors. I like it. I find it attractive, actually. So this company here, AutoZone, is going to report earnings as well. And I think a lot of analysts love its recession-proof moat, pricing power in the do-it-yourself repair boom. So we'll definitely have to see. I think housing data will set the tone for rate chatter, and earnings could spark some sector rotation. So you can expect the S&P futures to twitch if MU hints at AI tailwinds. So that's on Tuesday. Wednesday, we got new home sales in the spotlight. Builders break the ground. We got the new home sales hitting at 10 o'clock, again, right after the markets open, shortly after. The forecast is at 675,000 units, down slightly from July's 685,000. This one's a Fed favorite because new builds reflect builder confidence and rate sensitivity. So a miss might scream recession risk, pressuring cyclicals, while a beat could validate the soft landing narrative. And so keep an eye on inventory levels. They're kind of climbing, which might ease prices but spook the margins. But you know what? Again, I just find this all noise. I think price action, we want to go much higher. And you could see here also KB Homes will be reporting as well. They're going to be in the spotlight, and the results they're due with revenue of 1.65 billion and 1.45 earnings per share in the crosshairs. It is a volume-driven home builder. KBH's order backlog will actually reveal if rate cuts are thawing the freeze. So it'll be very bullish if the incentives stay low, actually, and bearish if the discounts balloon. So we'll have to see what they say on the earnings call. Dual housing reads could whip up the bond yields. Watch the 10-year treasury as well for some clues. If new home sales flop, then you might see gold sector grinning and moving. So keep a watch on gold as well. Thursday, we got a double whammy. I don't know, they just load us up here. We got the durable goods order at 8:30, and then we have the GDP third estimate at 8:30. So expecting to confirm 3% growth. No big revisions are really anticipated, but any upward tweak could underscore economic resilience. Easing cut expectations on durables. I don't think so. I think a soft read might flag slowing capex amidst uncertainty, but again, it just depends. What does the market think? Everyone can think all these things, but it comes down to the market. What does the market think? Then we have Accenture ACN has earnings. Their forecast is 16.85 billion and revenue of 3.32. It is a consulting giant, and their IT spending, which is their cloud and AI, will be gold for tech allocators. Okay, so if you like ACN, or even if you don't follow them, okay, you want to tune into the earnings on Accenture, because they're going to potentially move other stocks. So, keep a watch here on Accenture, because we want to see also questions on client budgets. Is it a wait and see world? So I want to hear more about that when I listen to the earnings call. CarMax, also used car lots are price sensitive. So we'll have to hear more about CarMax. They have an earnings coming up as well on KMX if you follow CarMax, or if you like the used car business. I mean, for me, I like all those used cars because, if you get some good ones off a lease, I like them. So anyhow, CarMax has earnings, and we'll see how they do. And I think that's really interesting. I think they have a very cool website. And some reasonably priced cars. It's all about them. I think it's all about the mileage for me. Costco has earnings coming up as well. And let me tell you, you go to Costco for one thing, you leave with 10. So Costco has earnings as well. And that'll be interesting because the traffic is humming and fees are up. Membership is up. Revenue, though, is 60.9 billion forecast and $4.99 earnings per share. We'll definitely have to hear if there's any pressure or e-com rivals that could dent that halo. But I think the market vibe will be GDP steadiness, could lift the broad indices. And obviously Costco's everyday low prices on spending could sway retail ETFs. So a lot of high drama for value hunters. So keep a watch on that. And last but not least, Friday, we got the Inflation Inquisition and Sentiment Showdown. The week's grand finale will be the August PCE index, the Fed's holy grail, at 8:30, with core PCE eyed at 0.2%. And we're going to hear more about that. And then we have, obviously, no major earnings closing it out on Friday, leaving for positioning into the weekend. And so really the big picture this week is the Fed whisper. PCE could dictate December cut odds. Housing softness might amplify rate cut cheers, While earnings from Micron, ACN, Costco test the AI hype versus the consumer grit. Volatility could spike midweek, but a Goldilocks vibe steady with GDP cooling prices favor risk on. So I'm loving this week. I can't wait. Sectors to watch, I told you, AI and semis, retail, defense stocks, keep a watch. But I want to also just quickly, before I wrap this up, I really want to show you this fly because this is something so cool. And I really think that they have their first earnings from the IPO. So we should really be paying attention to this because the stocks pulled back a lot since the IPO. So let's just have a quick look before we sign off.
From Vandenberg Space Force Base,
Launch of an Alpha rocket.
Blue Ghost, separation confirmed.
Heading to the moon. Deep
Liberty Delta, passage.
Firefly Aerospace has not only doubled the size of their facilities, but their rockets as well.
Look at that view.
Firefly recently shattered the previous 21-day record for responsive launch by delivering a payload for Space Force within 24 hours.
Look at it! Crazy!
Firefly Aerospace just became the first immersion company in history to complete a fully successful moon landing.
Well, you know what, everyone? That was like really cool. I love the Firefly. So I want you to watch that on Monday because they do report, and I think it's important to watch what they're going to be doing. Let me go back to the Trading View. I want to show you guys something. So I love this feature with Trading View because I can see here that Fly has the earnings here, and you see it has like a little moon. So it means it's after hours. So cute. I never noticed that till today, actually. So this is after hours. So this is one to watch because a lot of these analysts are still really bullish on this. And so definitely keep Firefly on your watch. It's the first earnings report since the IPO launched, and the stocks pulled back a lot. So can this pick up steam again and take off? So keep this on watch. I thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time. I look forward to doing more content. I will do a separate video actually on a couple stocks. So stay tuned for that. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your day. See you guys on Monday.